to vote for himself or the other rival if he decides to do so. There, the general casts his vote. That's for the members of parliament. And then he will proceed to the other box. Well, I think he has looked at UBC and is like, hey, I should talk to these guys, but we shall be having him. Right there, woman members of parliament. He is done voting, so he will put the thumb at the ink. There you go. Signify. You know, he's a very playful gentleman, so you can't be around him without laughing. So he's already done now. That signifies that he has already voted. So we are going to be speaking with General Rwashande, and we get to hear an update from him regarding the exercise. Well, I think now the process is standstill. I think because we are having a general here, and apparently, but they have started allowing in other people. I wasn't seeing others coming in, but they have already allowed in other people to come and engage into the process. So we are going to speak to General Rwashande shortly, so that he can give us an update regarding how he has seen the exercise. Polling agent, can you help us, guide us on how we can, so that, all right, General, kindly, you could come here close.
First of all, I want to clear what you were talking. I heard you saying that we are bringing confusion. No, you cannot destroy one paper and you go back and you return the destroyed one and they give you a new one, because there is no single person who has 2 ballot papers. Okay?
Yes, General, we were actually waiting for you to explain to us what was happening, but you have really made it clear, sir.
Yes, there is no individual that has 2 ballot papers at a go. When when the other one is destroyed, the way you have done it, you put it in, that is a destroyed ballot.
It becomes invalid.
Becomes invalid.
You're not given a second one.
You're not given a second one. Because you can vote for other people. Yes, but then you don't go back because somebody there supports the person you are voting for, then he takes you to get another ballot paper. That's not correct. Because every Ugandan must exercise his right to vote. So when you take 2, it means that you have taken papers for 2 people. Yeah.
So, General, briefly, we saw you come in. Tell us, how have you seen the exercise right from the first desk?
I think it is clear. Maybe I have not seen any problem right from up there, up here. I have not seen any problem. I've just come from home. I just want to go around and see how people are voting. And
we've had information that the BVK machines in the constituency have failed to work. Have you?
It's not in the constituency. It's in the country. In the whole of Uganda. It's not in the country. It has just been cleared now that people should actually go ahead and vote without the machines. These are machines and we are people. So people can govern themselves without the machines. After all, it's the people that govern the machines. So what is the problem?
Asante, thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Good. Well, mu Luganda mpozi tulina start TV geno abo Luganda so
Luganda no Luganda rwange ngaro liringa.
All right, that is General Emmanuel Rwashande, who's been speaking to our very own Ivan Kawa. He has finished casting his own vote, and he made a point that in case you've made a mistake with your ballot, you have a right, the law gives you the right to take it back so that you're given another one where you can rightfully tick and rightfully do the right ticking or thumbprint to vote for your candidate. Now, if you remember, during the primaries, there was a war, a heavy war in Remiaga between Sechkubo and Rwashande, where the long-serving Remiaga County MP Theodore Sechkubo suffered a major political blow after losing the NRM party flag to retired Brigadier General Emmanuel Rashande during the NRM primaries. And if you look at the percentage of statistics as to how he won, Rashande won with 16,358 votes, translating to about 54.3% against Sechikubo, who garnered 8,702 votes, which translated to about 28.92% of the votes. Now, the other candidates that were there at the time were Edmond Bwire with 960 votes, former State Minister for Animal Husbandry Joy Kabatsi with 471 votes, and Jacob Kato, who came last with 11 votes. But Remiaga is in the parliamentary race, has attracted 5 aspirants altogether, away now from the primaries into what we are voting for today. 5 aspirants, including, of course, the incumbent Theodore Sechikubo and, of course, Major General Rashande, and others there to look into, indeed, Isaac Museveni Tumusime of the National Unity Platform, and Mr. Joseph Migade Amoti, who is on the independent ticket. Keep in mind that Honorable Theodore Sechikubo has served Remiaga County for now 25 years as a member of parliament, and he's still contesting for your vote to go back to the August House under the 12th Parliament. It's UBC TV that you're watching. Uganda goes to the polls 2026. We bring you footage from different areas. So far, what we have studied and learned from the different reports coming in from the different areas, Remiaga, Sebabule, generally in different areas, the BVVKs have failed. Same applies to here, even in Kampala. Jethro Kasaiji reported that it took time, voting took time to start as early as possible because the BVVKs failed there as well. Usafi, the issue there was delayed electoral commission officials coming in late, and at the railway polling station, the machines also took their time and in fact started at about 9 a.m. to function. So it looks like the BVVKs have been quite an issue, and yes, they were an issue of conversation even at their point of introduction. Part of their reason for being introduced and being used was to avoid or prevent issues like ballot stuffing. But reminding you that we have 8 presidential aspirants, and as you can see on your screen, we do have candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni under the NRM ticket, and candidate Mugisha Muntu under the ANT ticket, Robert Chagulanyi representing the NUP ticket, and Nandala Mafabi of the FDC representing the FDC ticket indeed, CMP Common Man's Party Munyagwa Mubarak and CP Joseph Mabirizi, as well as NPP Robert Kasivante and RPP Burira Frank Kabinga, who are representing the NRM party. Going back to their profiles, candidate Yoweri Kaguta on the 15th of September in the year 1944 in Tungamo district, and many wonder how he got his name Museveni. But indeed, as he always tells the story, his father was one of those who fought in the World War II, and he served under the 7th Battalion, and that's how he named his son Museveni. Kuba yali Museveni, the father was a Museveni. Bali base economics and political science, and became deeply involved in Pan-African and liberation ideologies. Now, Museveni led the National Resistance Army to power after a 5-year guerrilla war that ended years of political instability under his leadership. And Uganda has experienced relative stability, economic liberalization, and growth in infrastructure, education, healthcare, and regional influence, including peacekeeping missions in Somalia. That's a bit of a profile of candidate Yoweri Museveni, and I'll definitely be giving you more of his profile. But looking at candidate Mugisha Muntu, who was born in 1958, now, let's look at candidate Robert Chagulanyi, who is popularly known as bobiwine. Excuse me. Born on the 12th of February 1982 in Gomba district, and is a Ugandan politician, musician, activist, and former ghetto youth icon. Educated at Makerere University, where he studied music, dance, and drama, Chagulanyi built a very successful musical career using his art to highlight poverty, corruption, and social injustice. He entered or joined formal politics in 2017 after winning the Chadondo East Parliamentary by-election as an independent candidate. He later became president of the National Unity Platform, Uganda's largest opposition party in the parliament, in the 11th parliament. Bobiwine emerged as leading symbol of youth-led political change and contested in the 2021 general elections for presidency, making his second time as a candidate in the presidential race. That is FDC's Nandala Nathan Mafabi, born 17th January 1966 in Sironko district, where he, by the way, is voting from today as well. And he is a Ugandan politician, economist, and seasoned legislator. He studied economics at Makerere University and later earned a master's degree in development economics from the University of Manchester in United Kingdom. Mafabi has served multiple terms as Member of Parliament for Budadiri West and is a senior leader of the Forum for Democratic Change, where he has served as Secretary General. He also chaired Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, gaining national prominence for exposing financial mismanagement and promoting accountability in government. Known for his firm oversight role and grassroots mobilization skills. Now, right now, let's head to a message by the chairman of the Electoral Commission as he speaks to us right now.
How would they refuse them? For instance,
a very good morning,
the candidates should have issued or given copies of the register of a polling station to their candidates who are assigned to that polling station. The candidate reports to the polling station and hands in his or her letter of appointment or introduction to the presiding officer. The agents are provided for in the law, and the agents are entitled to have a register which has been issued by the Electoral Commission. So anyone who attempts to deny an agent from getting to the station with a register is wrong. If it can be, if any such person can be in a polling station has such issues, we shall address them. Every agent is entitled to come to the polling station with a register issued by candidate. It is not the responsibility of the Electoral Commission to give candidates agents registers at the polling station.
Justice, you appeared not once, not twice, assuring the nation that these machines, the DVVK, would be functional. What was the cause of this failure?
Well, that's true. We made every effort. We informed the country, we informed the citizens. These machines are going to be at the polling stations. We have dispatched them, we have deployed them, but for technical reasons which we are still trying to verify, because now our major focus really is now, and let me make this very clear. Our major focus as a commission now is that the people of Uganda who are registered voters are not disenfranchised. That is our major focus now. As to what precisely happened that has made these machines virtually all over not to function, we are going to look into that. But we cannot say let the people's choice be put on hold until we have sorted out the issue of the machines. We cannot put the desire to have these machines functioning over and above the constitutional right of the people of Uganda to choose their leader, provided they have a legitimate record, and that is the voters register in which they participated by registering themselves, by indicating where they want to vote from. So as to what exactly happened and as to what we promised, yes, we agree with, but this is not the first time I have seen people preparing spacecrafts, go to Mars, go to the moon. The thing takes off within a few minutes. What happens? Haven't you seen that?
But it will dent your reputation as the EC.
I think to me, the issue is not the reputation of the EC. The issue is, have the people of Uganda been allowed to exercise their constitutional right in the midst, despite the circumstances, despite the challenges? Have the people of Uganda been allowed to exercise their constitutional right? Have they been enabled to go to the polling station and cast their votes and choose leaders of their choice? To me, that is what is important. It is not what becomes of Yabakama or any of the commissioners is not an issue. That's not important. What is important is for the people of Uganda to exercise their constitutional right and vote their leaders, provided that process is within the legal framework, the Constitution and the electoral laws, the Electoral Commission Act, the Presidential Elections Act, and the Parliamentary Elections Act. And I want to say, as we stand now, all those legal provisions are being complied with in the context or in the context of, is there voters registered at every polling station? Yes, there is. Are there printed ballot papers at polling stations? Yes, they are. Are the people going to be given these ballot? Are these people going to be properly identified? Yes, they are, using the register. Will they be issued the ballot papers so that they can cast their votes? Yes, they are going to be issued those papers. So to me, that is the most important thing. What is important is for the right of the people of Uganda to exercise their power, their free will to choose their leaders. Not the reputation of the commission. Yes, we need a good reputation, whether it is dented or not. To me, I think the primary thing is let the people cast their vote. And I think as we talk now, we have already sent messages to our people on the ground, and we are saying, please let the people vote, use the register. Kakati kiriwo kiti nti okulonda kutandika essaawa emu ne kukomerekezeddwa essaawa 10 si kyekyo yadde tutandise kikeererezi naye bw'ogenda ku polling station nga kati kiri kikugaana kugenda ku polling station mu budde nga kati bw'onoobeera polling station lw'okuba nti abantu batandise kulonda kikeererezi essaawa zigenda kuwera 10 abantu bakyali mu layini abo bajja kulonda bagenda kulonda naye kakati gwe bw'onojja luvannyuma essaawa 10 so nga ate wandibadde ojja mu budde kati tujja kukkirizibwa kulonda kubanga ekikuleese kikeererezi sigamba nti olwokubanga obuumu bwakoze eki bwafudde naye kakati tuli mu ssaawa zigenda mu ssaawa 5 message era mwebale nnyo okujja bamawulire mbeebaza nnyo kyemanyi mugenda okutongooza message eno mugisaasaanye wonna nti abantu bakkiriziddwa okulonda kulina okugenda mu maaso abantu bagende balonde kasa bali mu nnyiriri z'abalonzi oba olukalala lw'abalonzi mu register ku polling station balonde essaawa 10 bwezinakusanga tonalonda ssebo nnyabo ojja kulonda okulonda kunaakomekereza ssaawa 11 mpaka balonzi baweddeyo naye tugamba nti ali okuba nti obuuma bwafudde kati nze sijja kugendayo oba naagendayo ssaawa 11 n'ekitundu tojja kukkirizibwa kulonda ssebo nnyabo genda nga bukyali ng'essaawa 10 tezinawera bajja kukkiriza olonde ebintu era kakasa nti njagala kakasa abantu ba Uganda nti akalulu kano yadde obuuma ekigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali kiki kigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali okuyamba okukakasa gundi mulonzi nga ate tukikola mu bwangu ekintu nga tukikola mu bwangu naye bwe kubanga obuuma tibuganje tekitegeeza nti okulonda tukusobola genda mu maaso nedda ate bw'otunulira mu ssemateeka ekintu ekiri mu ssemateeka ye register bw'otunulira amateeka go by'okulonda ku bwa president okulonda kwa bwa member of parliament okulonda kwa gavumenti z'ebitundu ekiri mu mateeka ago gonna ye register kati register weeri ku polling station zonna abalonzi we bali era bagenda okusooka okumanyira bw'oleeta era papa tubagamba musobola okugenda mu maaso kujja n'obupapula bwammwe voter allocation slip oba gundi ndangamuntu yo ogiweeyo bakwebere mu register naye kati mu kifo ky'obuuyisa ku buuma obuuma engeri gye bugizeemu bubaddemu n'ensonga tugenda kutunula mu register era okulonda kugenda mu maaso bulungi.
Ssentebe kano okwogedde mu luzungu kino tekigenda kuleetera abantu kulowooza nti isinafu akakikoko kanafu kubanga mwaleese obuuma ne butakola kiraga ki
kakati ekyo kyonze ku lwange era wenjogerera kati eyo si nsonga nkulu oba akakiiko bakalabanga kanafu oba ateekakoze omulimu bulungi ekikulu nnyo olw'obuuma obutakola ensonga nkulu nti bannayuganda baweereddwa omwagaanya baweereddwa omukisa okulonda abalonzi baabwe nga bwe baagala olunaku lwaleero okulonda kugenze mu maaso okusinziira mu mateeka y'ensonga nkulu nnyo sigamba nti oba byabakama bamutunulira batya oba bantunulira bubi oba bantunulira bulungi si nsonga nkulu nze Uganda yenye kulembeza singa nga byabakama kubanga nze byabakama sisinga Uganda obunene ate sisinga Uganda obukulu oba importance naye kikulu nnyo kiri nti bannayuganda abaaweebwa obuyinza omusemateeka baweereddwa omukisa wadde obuuma buno bwekyanze oba bufunyemu ebizibu naye bafunye omukisa ne basobola okulonda nga bukiragirwa mu mateeka oba ne musemateeka era nze ngamba ssebo nyabo bwekityo kigenda kubeera.
Nsaba onkwongere bannayuganda nga
Thank you. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. Justice Byabakama. Now, yes, he's heading back to the field and we're back to the studio. Thank you.
That was the voice of Justice Simon Byabakama, who indeed said that they are, as the Electoral Commission, they are yet to confirm and understand what is behind the failure of technology with the biometric voter verification kits. But he has insisted and told Ugandans, go and vote. At least let's use the registers, the manual way, the organic way of using registers, but do not stay at home because the BVVK has failed. And indeed, he has insisted that voting stops at 4 p.m. But whoever will be in queue by 4 p.m., even if you're in the queue and it's to end at 6 p.m., you will be allowed to vote for as long as by 4 p.m. you are already queuing. But if you come after 4 p.m., you will not be allowed to vote. That means keep your time and make sure that before 4 p.m. you are in the queue ready to cast your vote. Now let's head to Rwachtura and hear from Onyango Norbert, who is at the location, the very same location where candidate Museveni votes from and is expected to cast his vote from. Good morning, Onyango.
Good morning, Julie, and our viewers of UBC TV. It is a very peaceful and very exciting day here in Rwachtura, as you said. We are just standing on the soil where the President of the Republic of Uganda will be casting his vote here in Rwachtura. This polling station is called the Karo High School Rwachtura, but there are two polling stations with the voting turnout expected to be around 997, and of course the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be among those voters who will be coming in here to cast their vote. We are voting for the President and members of Parliament, and this is an exercise which has seen us go through the campaigns for all the 3 months, and today is the day every Ugandan has been waiting. All signs are clear that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda is not very far from us. Within a few minutes, not more than even 10 minutes, he will be making his way here in company of the First Lady to cast the votes. At the polling station, as you can see from different angles here, voting is ongoing. They're not waiting for the President to cast their vote, but voters at exactly 8 started casting their vote for the two positions, I mean the 2 members of Parliament and that of President. And this is an exercise we hope it will go on up to 4 p.m. and tallying will thereafter commence. The President will be coming in here, and as media will be giving you as UBC the live images of when the head of state arrives here. The steps he will be taken through to cast his vote. Just like any other voter, he will also be taken into the procedures as guided by the Electoral Commission, where he has to verify that indeed is a registered voter. To give you a back history, that the President, this is where almost every time he has casted his vote from, and there's no doubt that his names are in the register of those who are eligible to vote, because he took it upon himself to come and verify the name. When the party he heads, NRM, had primaries, the President also came in that situation to ensure that he cross-checks his credentials, not to miss out an opportunity of casting the vote for the leaders he wants to lead this country in the coming 5 years. So there's no doubt that he is not in the register. That was done and dusted, and he's just coming to conclude up the exercise which started a few months ago, and almost now we are coming at the climax. As he gets here, we shall be giving you the images, and whatever will be happening here, I'm meant to understand that he will be talking to us after casting his vote, and probably the First Lady, I'm aware, doesn't vote from this polling station, but that does not stop her from accompanying the father of the nation to come and take part into this noble exercise. Voting, as you can see on your screens, is going on peacefully, successfully. The situation is still very calm, and so far we have seen no challenge as far as this exercise is concerned. We were supposed to speak to the returning officer. Let me see if there is an opportunity of talking to Madam Komuhanji. Then he keeps us engaged as we wait for the arrival of the President. But our viewers, we shall keep here in Rwachtura throughout the entire day, probably throughout the entire exercise up to the day of declaring the results, to ensure that you don't miss anything in as far as the presidency of Uganda is concerned. It is the 15th of January 2026, and I know my brother, my sister, my mother, my uncle, my aunt, and the rest, this is the day you have waited for the last, I think, 1 year, when the Electoral Commission rolled up the exercise of preparing or even leading us to this exercise. Julie, I can take 1 or 2 questions, but as we wait for the arrival of the head of state, who is expected here a few moments from now.
Conversation with the returning officer to ask her a thing or two. Could you please just share with us what the situation with the biometric voter verification kits is like at that location at Karo High School polling station?
But the fact that voting is going on, I would anticipate everything is moving on well as it was planned by Electoral Commission, but we will get the returning officers to shed light about that particular incident. But so far, we have not had any complaint from the voters who have already casted their vote, meaning the biometric voter verification devices are working. But if there is one incident, we will confirm that from the managers of this exercise here, and then we will give you the credible information in as far as that one is concerned. But as I said earlier, voting is going on successfully. People are coming in, people are lining, people are being verified, they are voting, and they are not keeping at the polling station as some candidates or parties have always emphasized. Whoever casts his or her vote is expected to move or even watch this exercise from a required distance of the 200 meters, and many are doing that. After casting their vote, they are going back into their homes. They will be probably come back in the evening to witness the counting and the tallying of the votes counted or casted within the day. So security-wise, the deployment is under the Uganda Police Force. The constables are around, and that is the situation at this particular polling station where I'm standing. There are two polling stations here at Karo High School with a voting population of 997.
Right. Indeed, I wanted to hear from you regarding the security deployment, given that it's the location where the president of Uganda also votes from, who is also a candidate right now. I just wanted you to paint a detailed picture of what the security is like, what the deployment is like, but also what the views of those who are coming to vote are in regards to the security deployment in that particular polling station.
Yes, the fact being that this is a polling station of the head of state, you would expect a more robust security approach in terms of how to secure the president. He is a candidate, but we should not also forget that he is the president, the sitting president of the Republic of Uganda. So the security for the president is around this polling station, but it is not interfering, or it is not even moving close to the polling station. I mean, the polling area. Like I said, the police constables are around to ensure that they are in charge of the polling exercise. The head of state security is just keeping a distance to ensure that they put in place whatever is required to ensure that the president moves in here peacefully, casts his vote, and automatically leaves after casting his vote. And I know after that they will also leave, and this place will ensure purely remain in the hands of the Uganda police and the sister agencies who are attached, who are connected, who have been charged with the responsibility of making sure that they protect the Ugandans across the entire country as they cast this vote. So the security situation is not alarming, it's not causing any havoc here, but of course they are here to ensure that they prepare for the president, and as soon as he leaves, they will also leave. Madam Julia and the Ugandans who are watching us, then police is on ground to ensure that they are the managers in terms of security, to ensure that this exercise be a success at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you very much, Onyango. We'll definitely be getting back to you in regards to what you'll get from the president after he casts his vote as to his experience, but I'm also looking forward to hearing from the returning officer the experience she has had in conducting the exercise. We shall get back to you in a brief after, of course, indeed, the president or the candidate Museveni casts his vote. So thank you so much, Onyango, and the whole UBC team that is on that side. Uganda goes to the polls 2026. Robert is coming up with another conversation regarding democracy, the history of democracy in Uganda. Let's first have a short break, and in just a bit, that means do not go away. In a blink of an eye, if I could paint it like that, Robert will be on to make sure that he also takes you through the history of Uganda's democracy. You are watching UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and indeed an honor to serve you as Ugandans. We are here to make sure that we walk the story as Uganda writes its history for the 2026 general elections. Good morning.
Of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the first 2 years.
Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
This December, all eyes in Morocco. Africa assemble. All dreams are heading one way.
Planetary movement aligning. All passion, all fire.
Because here we play different.
Choose your stuff. Show your colors.
Bring your flag.
And we welcome you to Morocco. You guys ready?
Time to wake up.
The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Nina emyaka 86 omuluka Kabakedi ombola yeruwero district yeruwero kubanga engeri gye byantegeeza nzaawe naganira ngamba lesina nagenda mu ebyo abaana nga sinnabagamba bwe yagira ki abaana nembagamba nebagamba mama genda nebanzikiriza sente ze nakafuna ndowooza gira emitwalo nga 6 abazisobamu awo sikyajjukira bulungi kubanga nze kasita nzifuna naye nkola ebalirya ne mmanya nti zituuse bwe ziti ne nziteeka awo ku kayumba kange ako ne ŋŋamba oluvannyuma ndifunamu ate ekigenda mu maaso naye nga si
It is the D-Day, the election day, and a lot is happening in the field. We are here at the Electoral Commission to get an update on what is transpiring on the ground from the chairman of the Electoral Commission. Take that shot. It's okay, get that.
This is, okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens, fellow Ugandans. The Electoral Commission has taken stock of the challenges that have been encountered across the country this morning when polling was supposed to have started, owing to technical glitches in our biometric verification kits. So the Commission is here to issue a statement guiding on the processes that should take place at the polling stations going forward. The Electoral Commission has received reports that voting has not commenced at some polling stations across the country due to technical challenges affecting the biometric voter verification kits. The Commission hereby directs all returning officers that where a BBVK or kit fails to start or to function, the voting process should commence immediately using the National Voters Register in accordance with the electoral laws and guidelines so as not to disenfranchise any voter. In the meantime, the Electoral Commission's technical teams are actively responding to and addressing the reported technical challenges wherever they can. But in order not to waste time, we have directed that polling can proceed in those areas where there are still these problems which have not yet been addressed. The Commission regrets any inconveniences caused and assures the public that every necessary measure is being taken to ensure a smooth and credible voting process countrywide. Presiding officers are directed that polling stations shall remain open until the registered voters who will be in the lines or in the queues by 4 p.m. have cast their votes. The fact that polling may start late or is starting late in many areas does not mean that the voters who will be in the line by 4 p.m. without voting should be turned away because it is not their fault that voting has started late. So the law permits that polling should proceed or continue even beyond 4 p.m. provided there are voters in the line or in the queue. We believe that these measures we have taken will address the issues that have emerged because it is the primary duty of the Electoral Commission to ensure that the citizens of this country are not disenfranchised on account of a machine failure or machine failure. So this is the statement I wish to make to the nation.
Okay, Chair, it's cited that this problem is commonly in
Uganda, yes. Basebo ne banyabo bannayuganda bannange malamusiza nnyo era njagala kwebaza bannayuganda bonna abakedde ne mugenda mu bifo ebironderwamu oba polling stations nga bwe twabalambika bwe twabategeeza nti polling stations zino kugulwawo ssaawa emu y'okumakya. Naye twafunye amawulire nti ebitundu ebisinga obungi obuuma bwaffe oba obukakasa oba ne bumanyiira omulonzi oba balonzi tebukola lw'ebintu byuma bya kalimagezi webiti wembeera eriwo. Naye ne tusalawo nti lw'okuba nti ssemateeka agamba nti record oba ekintu ekikulu nnyo ku polling station ye register. Ate buli polling station erina register y'abalonzi, mulimu ebifaananyi ebiri mu langi, ebifaananyi by'omulonzi, amannya ge, enamba y'obulonzi, ekifo kibumwabeera na polling station walondera. Kati ne tusalawo twasazeewo nga kakiiko nti okulonda kugenda mu maaso nga tuweeyambisa registers ezo. Abalonzi bwe banatuuka ku polling stations bw'onoobozze nakapapulako ka voter allocation slip oba ndangamuntu yo bajja kunoonya erinnya lyo mu register, oba bw'oba tozze nako oba tolina ndangamuntu ojja kweyanjula erinnya lyo bakakase nti ddala mu register wooli ate gwe kennyini, kubanga bajja kutunda ku kifaananyi balabe ne kiyenyi kyo banaakakasa nti yeggwe, bakuwa akapapula ogende olonde okateeke mu box. Abantu baffe ba technical people oba ba engineer, tugambe ba engineer bwe batyo bagezaako okukola kyonna okulaba nti batereeza obuuma buno mu bifo butakola oba bwe buganya okukola. Nga kakiiko we regret mu Luganda gwe tatya twejjusa ebibaddewo nti ngwe ebitwali tusuubira akuuma kano okukozesebwa bukola tebisobose bw'ensonga etali emu, naye tugamba nti okutwalira wamu obuuma obutakola tekijja kugaana Abannayuganda okulonda, kubanga ssemateeka gamba nti obuyinza buli mu bantu ate balina obukozesa nga balonda bakulembeze baabwe be baagala. Nolwekyo nga kakiiko tugamba nti yadde obuuma buganye kukola, naye okuba nti register buli polling station erina register y'abalonzi oba enkala y'abalonzi, okulonda kujja genda mu maaso, ate kujja genda mu maaso mu mateeka. Naye kyetukubiriza ba presiding officers, amateeka gagamba nti omulonzi bw'aba amaze okukakasibwa n'abwebwa kalulu n'alonda, gwe presiding officer oteekako akatiiki ku linnya lye mu register ekiraga nti yamaze kukola ki, yamaze okulonda. Ate nekirala ba agents abali polling stations mukakasiza ddala, nsuubira nti ba candidates bawadde ba agents baabwe registers za polling stations, ba agents babanakasiza nti ono mulonzi era mu register waali. Ekyokusatu nti omuntu wamala kulonda ajja genda oli omwami oli asembayo oba mukyala ku polling station ayina bwino amuteeke oba ku njala oba ku kinkumu ekikakasa nti yamaze okulonda. Kakati ba presiding officers era tuweereza bubaka nga tubagamba nti omulonzi yenna bw'aba ajja ku polling station sooka okebera enjala ze oba engalo ze olabe oba kuliko inki yonna eraga nti yalonze. Naye ffe tugamba nti omukutwalira wamu ekyokukozesa register yokka kiri mu mateeka. Obuuma, ekigendererwa ky'obuuma kyali nti okuyamba okukakasa nti gundi mulonzi ku polling station eno, ate kyanguyo mulimo gw'okukakasa nti gundi ono mulonzi wano, ate n'okukugira oba okugaana oli bwagezaako okujja okwongera okukuba kalulu mulundi gwokubiri ekimugaana. Ekyogamba nti omuntu ayinza okuva wano n'agenda Empigi oba alondedde wano Kawempe South n'agenda Kawempe North nti n'alonda omulundi gwokubiri, ssebo nyabo erinnya lyo liri mu Kawempe, register ya Kawempe North yokka, si mu Kawempe South oba ku Mpigi. Nolwekyo ekyogamba nti olwokuba nti obuuma tebuliiwo, nolwekyo abantu kisoboka nti bajja genda balonde wanu wali na wali nedda. Era ba agents ba candidates kemanyi basindise ba agents baabwe buli polling station. Gwe omulimu gw'aba agents ogwo tubadde tubakutegeeza okuva emabega nti ba agents be bakalabalaba, ba agents be bakuuma biki ebigenda mu maaso ebikwata ku interests za candidate we. Naye kye tugamba ba Uganda bannange muleme kweraliikirira, weewaawo obuuma twabuleeta nga tusuubira nti bugenda tuyamba, naye mu mateeka okulonda kusikya asobola genda mu maaso era ne tubeera n'akalulu k'amazima n'obwenkanya ate nga ka mirembe. Let me tell you this. One,
Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Simon Byabakama, clarifying on an issue that had come up where the biometric voter verification machines in some parts of the country were not functioning. He said, well, voting should continue because by law we have the voters register, which is stipulated in the law. So as long as someone's name is there, and of course he mentioned other measures that really verify why still, even in the absence of these machines, we can use the register. But also clarified that voting will not extend beyond 4 p.m. because of the delays that have been caused. He said once it clocks 4 p.m. and you're on the line or in the queue, you'll be allowed to cast your vote, even if the line is as long as whatever we can say, and voting ends at 5. What will happen is at 4 p.m. voting will close. The last person on the line must vote as long as it is 4 p.m. Now, how usual it is done, once it clocks 4 p.m., the polling constable goes and lines behind the last person on that queue, a sign that nobody else is allowed to join the queue. So wherever you are, do not think of the delay. Now I'll be going to Robert Onyango, who is at Karo Primary School in Rakitura, where His Excellency is expected to cast his vote.
Well, good morning once again, Robert Chirabo and the viewers of UBC TV. Hello, Uganda. It is the 15th day of January 2026. Rather, we are coming to you once again from Karo High School here in Kiruhura district. This is the polling station where the head of state, also the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be casting his vote for presidency and that of the 2 members of parliament for this district of Kiruhura. A few moments to come, I think we are not left with more than 5 minutes or 10. The head of state will be getting in here, and those are the images, I guess, you, our viewer, seated in your dining room, watching from your shop or from your offices. But of course, it is a public holiday. We expect you to be at home, relaxing, but as you follow the proceedings of this noble exercise, it is a historical day in the history of Uganda, because leadership is what shapes our country, and this is what exactly we are waiting for here as the president comes in here to cast his vote, and of course joining the many Ugandans who have already voted here at Karo High School. I said, and I repeat, it is a polling station. There are 2 polling stations here with a voting population of 997, and that includes the head of state. As we wait for him, we just want to prepare you that indeed voting across Kiruhura district is, so far from what we have gathered through our sources on the ground, is moving on well. But of course, even in western Uganda, say the districts of Kazo, Kiruhura, the district we are speaking through, then when you talk of Mbarara, Ntungamo and the rest, voting so far we have not got incidents of disruption somewhere, but of course we'll be getting the details as soon as they get into our eyes and ears. Just to brief and prepare you that indeed every Ugandan has taken it upon him or herself to raise up, to walk up and go and vote. I mean, those only registered voters. For you who didn't get chance or an opportunity, for those who said this is not part of me, I don't care. Of course, I know what you are feeling now. You are just even regretting that. I wish I am a registered voter. I'll be today going to vote for that leader I want. But of course, it is a process which was given to you. It was an opportunity which was at free cost to just raise up, stand up, go and register, and make sure that in the end of the day, you are part of the many Ugandans who are over 21 millions who are voting the leaders who will be leading us at different levels of leadership in the coming term of office. That is 2026 and 2031. That is what is coming here and what is happening here as we wait for the president. Voting, Robert and our viewers, is ongoing. They are not waiting for the president. Now on your screens, the president is just behind me, and this is the beginning of what has brought us here, to see how the president casts the vote, but he will be casting it just like any other normal Ugandan, a registered voter. He will be taken through the processes of voting, verifying that he is a voter, and at the end of the day, handed 2 ballot papers. That is the one for president, and he chooses among the 8 candidates who he wishes to see that he leads Uganda. But of course, as a candidate and a contender, we expect he will choose himself as a capable person, a capable Ugandan who is going to lead Uganda again in the coming 5 years as the president of the Republic of Ugandans. Viewers, as soon as the president closes up here, I'll be muting this sound, then I give you what exactly you want to see. Our viewers, and on your screens is now the arrival of the head of states, the president of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, arriving here.
mazima.
That is Kalo Primary School in Kiruhura district, where he is a registered voter. He's soon going to be casting his vote, and of course that will mean that His Excellency has fulfilled his constitutional mandate. Every Ugandan of age of voting, it is your right to participate in choosing who your next leader is. Now, of course, we can see that there are quite other people at the polling station also who have come to cast their vote. Today is a big day in our history, the 15th of January, where again Ugandans have gone to the polls to elect their member of parliament, that is district woman member of parliament, the directly elected member of parliament, but also who will take on the mantle of governing this country for the next 5 years. There are 8 candidates in the race, and Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is the NRM candidate. We are bringing you live. That is His Excellency. They're checking for his name. Then he will be given his about candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the NRM. Yes, he's now a candidate of the NRM party, and of course is with other 8 people in the race. Who will take it at the end of the day? Remember, the law is very clear. Within 48 hours from the closure of polling, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission must have announced the winner of that election. So if you calculate, we have till Saturday around 4 p.m. that Justice Simon Byabakama, that is the time he has to announce who will have won this election. For members of parliament, that is at district level. Of course, the district turning officers will be able to announce who will be the winner. His Excellency clearly looking, I think that is the biometric voter verification machine. If I have heard it clearly, His Excellency trying it out there. However, Justice Simon Byabakama earlier on clarified or gave direction, issued a statement on that, that where these machines have become non-functional due to technicalities, voting should go on. Voting should go on because we have the voters register, and you should follow as long as someone is in the register, then that person should vote, and we should not hold voting because the machines are not working. And we don't know what is happening there, but it seems His Excellency has something to, it seems the NRM presidential candidate has something to say there. Either regarding the machine, yes, we see him removing the hat. Let's wait and look. Now they're trying, let's see if they're trying to get, yes, that is the machine they are using as the president is going to vote. That must be working indeed. Well, that is exactly what is happening now. His Excellency in the process of casting his vote to take on Uganda for the next 5 years. Should Ugandans give him the mandate today? Because
everything was fine.
But
what's happening?
That is candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the NRM going to cast his vote. He is at the Benson going to tick, and right now the president, he's making his choice. The candidate of the NRM party, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, making his choice on who will lead the country for the next 5 years. Since it is a secret ballot, well, the choice is not known to anybody, because it has to be known to only you who is casting that ballot. He's now headed for the bucket to drop in his ballot paper after folding it vertically. He's folding it vertically, very carefully, and slotting it into the box. He's now heading for yet another basin, because 3 positions are to be voted today. That is the president, the district woman member of parliament, and the directly elected member of parliament. Now he's at the directly elected member of parliament. He's finished casting for the president, and there he heads for the box. He folds vertically and slots it into the box. One more to go. The president still heads for the final box. That is the district woman member of parliament. Of course, he's interacting. Oh, he's there now. They've ticked or marked his finger as a sign that he has voted. For every Ugandan, remember, after voting, you get that mark as a sign that you've cast your vote. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the presidential candidate for the NRM party, has finished casting his vote. Remember, voting started at 7 a.m. and will end at 4 p.m. Wherever you are, make sure you make it to the polling station in case you haven't, as long as you're a registered voter like His Excellency. By 11:25, he had arrived at Karo Primary School in Kiruhura district, and he's going to be speaking to some residents there. I can see a mic given to him, addressing the people. Candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of the NRM party is going to be addressing the people that are at that polling station where he has just finished casting his vote. All is being prepared for the president to address the people.
Kana kanjangiro nimpango yekanimpango togoga ati ngagandi mbente Tagoga hati nyagaga nimbente Tagoga hati nyanga gobshedi Naga kare nyamakana mhago Nakajajiro nyekanipango Akabashwiro mufunga Akabashwiro mufunga izoba Kabashwiro wogo mityo yende Kabatar murungi cyambamba Inakari yekanimpango inachuche yekanimpango inabana yekanimpango inabakaikuru yekanimpango gambi sampindi yekanimpango inabagursi yekanimpango kagabirwe ibiri yekanimpango nakajagiro yekanimpango
I want to thank all of you, the rumor mongers, you know, we village people, we are not used to people who don't work. Because either you are a farmer of crops or cows, or a fisherman, we have got Omoga. Omoga is like a blacksmith, carpentry and so on. This is our tradition. But recently we got some new people who say their job is to look for news. Can you imagine? But it's modernity, so we are accepting it. So I'm happy to meet you because I've discovered that aborugamba nabo bano mugaso kubanga bajje eno ne batwala eri singa batwala ebituufu nagwo omulimu si kyansonga naye nze nalemera mu kulunda n'okulima. So I congratulate Ugandans for getting up early this morning because I was following by 5-6 people were up. Now they had a problem of these voter verification machines. They are working because I voted by it, as you saw. You were all there. First of all, it did not accept my fingerprints because I think maybe when they took them, they had a different angle if you don't put them properly. But when they put my face, you saw the machine recognized me. Now, this has been the struggle of NRM since 1960. Because long before your parents were born, I was around and already active. And we have been having a problem of from that time. UPC was cheating that time. Kawaka Yaka. I was in DP. DP was not so much inactive. It had other problems. Therefore, the elections of 1961-62 were really not fair, not accurate. At that time, they were voting in enclosed Sakati, where they would have an enclosure, a Kasharagati. Where you go and you take a loan, and then they would have each party had its own box. Then you had so it was really not serious. We never had elections again from 1962 to 19. Is there no shade somewhere? Because I'm enjoying the rumor mongers. I want to talk to them more. There's no shade here where you can. Aroka Bundaho. Okay, Toa. You rumor mongers, you are the ones who brought yourself, so I'm going to lecture you. So we never had elections again for 18 years, no elections, until 1980. Now, before the elections of 1980, we told our people, please, can we remove all these shades? Because in 1962, you had multiple voting, somebody could vote many times. You had ballot stuffing, somebody could just bring papers and put them there. you didn't have registers which you were sure of, and the voting was in a Bisakate, in enclosure. So we said, please, can we discuss how to vote accurately? They didn't want. They just wanted elections, and they cheated. And we told them that if you cheat, we are going to fight. That's what happened. So when we defeated those groups, we started with lining up. 1989, because that lining up was Ukakasanti. These are your real people. To remove the other issue of ballot stuffing, remove the issue of multiple voting, remove the issue of dead people also voting, because if you are dead now, you don't have time to line up. You can't come to line up. So it worked well, 89, the lining up. But when we went to the CA, they said, no, we must go back to, because the lining up had the issue of people seeing that you didn't vote for me, and it could have some parana. So that's why when we came to 94, 96, we went back to secret ballot. But we put these measures which you still see. Have one ballot paper. Don't have separate ballot papers, so that the pictures of the candidates are all on one paper, as you saw. Secondly, have one ballot box. Thirdly, tick privately, but where all people are seeing, so that they see that you have ticked only one paper. Fourthly, have agents of candidates, agents. Let them be there to see, because all these were not allowed. In the 1962, it was not allowed. You are not allowed to have agents. It was up to the Electoral Commission people. Then count immediately after voting, because that was also another issue. In 1962, they would take the boxes from here to Mbarara. It would take like a week taking the boxes. They would count there, you are not there, then they just announce. So here we said, count and announce immediately after the elections. Now, so this was like, we thought it would eliminate cheating. And it can, but it depends on one thing, vigilance. The agents to really be vigilant. But many times the agents are not vigilant. They are not vigilant. So still, like in the last election, opposition infiltrated 2.7 million votes. Those votes which they say opposition got were not. They never got those votes. They were infiltrated by the opposition. They printed 1 million votes on Nkuruma Road, and we brought another 1.7 from Dubai. It's a fact. We got these facts, but afterwards. So that's why all this time we have been saying, no, let's go electronic, biometric. Capture the fingerprint and the face. Yes, you will vote manually, like you saw me voting, but after the machines have confirmed that I am the one, and that I will vote only once, I'm not allowed to. Now, so this machine works, as you saw. But some people feared it, didn't want it to work. Some people feared it. Some people feared the machine. They fear the machine. They don't want the machines to work. So this morning, you know, being a guerrilla, I get up early. I'm not like you people who kondeza. You know kondeza? Who kondeza. Abaganda bane kigambo cyo banange. To oversleep. Huh?
Amaloozi agali eno bagamba nti kuba kufuluuta.
That is snoring. To oversleep.
Bagambye kuba kuwoomereza. Nti okubulizaako.
Ngenda kumugamba Kabaka Mutebi Abaganda mazike ekyoli nyankole. Okondeza is a clear, so I don't kondeza. So 6:30 I rang Todwong. Todwong was up there in Nwoya. I was checking about our agents, my agents. They must be here. Don't call them, leave them, they are on duty. I was checking, have my agents arrived? Said yes, some of them have arrived. This was like 6:30. Many of them have arrived, but we now have a problem of the machines. What is the problem? The software, this and that and that and that. Then I checked now with the Shiba, engineer Shiba. I hear stories about the machines. Then Shiba said the machines have no problem, but the people in some people in the Electoral Commission delayed to bring their biodata, what they call biodata, so that it is entered into the machine. So that machine can only be operated by somebody whom it has already been allocated. Is the only one who can open it. Otherwise, if Yoweri Museveni, a very important man, president, general, if I come and try to open it, it will not accept me. It will say, sorry, sikumanyi. So somebody in the Electoral Commission delayed to send the picture. Whose pictures were sent? Who opened this machine here? He's there, but he's on duty. Don't divert him. So, what is his name? Akampa Sara. When was she recruited? Maybe our big woman here can brief us. The machine operator, give her Mzindaro. Come. Ulienda kumzindaro.
She's coming.
They will bring it here.
Your Excellency, thank you for that question. The polling officials were recruited beginning on 22nd of December 2025. Throughout, we took them through the recruitment process until 2nd of January of this year, when we started the trainings. We trained them for 5 days consecutively. As of yesterday, Your Excellency, we were still training as a refresher to remind them in case they forgot, because we are dealing with a machine. We took them through yesterday countrywide and they were ready to work.
Okay. So, but the machine to work had to be operated by the one who has already explained that one.
Yes, for the biometric voter verification kit to work, first of all, it is used by 2 officers, the operator and the presiding officer. For it to work, you must assign them before they can use it.
Assign them how?
You take their particulars, their national identity card, NIN, and their biodata. So we submitted at the district level to the Electoral Commission headquarters IT, and they assigned them to the machines.
They integrated them?
Yes, Your Excellency.
And that's why the machine is accepting them?
That's why they are able to use the machines.
Are you part of that, or you are a bigger woman?
I am a returning officer of the district.
So for you,
but I supervise them, sir.
So you are not among the openers?
I'm not among the operators, Your Excellency.
So what happened was that some people in the Electoral Commission did not send the particulars of the operators to the machines. So I checked, they are saying that some of them, even by this morning, had not sent their biodata by this morning. Some were sending by 9. Was this deliberate? We are going to check that. So when I started checking by 8, 9, people started ringing me. The machines are working in a few places, in other places they are not working. So the Electoral Commission proposed, and I had to support it, because people have gathered from morning, from 7, that we vote manually, because it was not correct for people to just go home. But the machine works. So there must be, we're going to find out why there was a delay by people to send the biodata to the machines. I know people who cheat, opposition. Last time they got 2.7 million votes by cheating. But this time we are also very, very alert. Although the machines have not worked well, we have got other measures which we are following up. So this is, since you are rumor mongers, this is not a rumor, these are true stories which I have told you. I can answer a few questions. Abakuza kutera obululu barabakuriya. Tanaelewa ntawana beja abantu baza kutera karabina. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I'm by the names of Robert Onyango. I work with UBC. Congratulations, first of all, for having gone around the entire country for 3 months, canvassing for votes. It has not been an easy journey. We saw you under the sunshine, under the rain, but you finally managed and made it to where we are today. Your Excellency, this is the 7th time you are casting the vote under this arrangement, where as a country, Uganda, we choose leaders at all levels. Though we have started with these 2 categories. I'm just removing or setting aside the 1980 elections, which you have always disputed. That's why I have not made it 8. But on the bottom line, Your Excellency, what kind of president have you voted for today? One you'd wish to lead Uganda in the coming 5 years, looking at the demands of our society, where service delivery, security, peace, and the rest is a core principle of which the NRM party, which you lead, is running and intending to run the next government. And probably, if you wanted supporters like members of parliament and local leaders, to the voters who have not yet voted, which kind of leaders can they send to you so that you work with them in the coming 5 years? Your Excellency, I will not limit it to there, but just give me 1 second. You have insinuated about what happened in the last elections in 2021. If you can just add it on this, my one question. Are you ready this time round to accept the outcome of this election, just in case the opposition once again rise up and manipulate the exercise, as you have always alluded? Thank you, Excellency.
Well, if we had known the manipulation in time, we would have challenged it. But we came to know about it later. We came to know about it post-mortem. But this could be one manipulation. We are going to study more. Like this one here, we're going to find out why, what was the problem. Because I have voted with the machines here, I put my Ugandans all over the world, listen to what I have done here. I'm a good experiment. I'm a good guinea pig. I put my right chinkumu, that's what they call thumbprint. The machine did not accept it. I put my left, it did not accept it. Why? It could be that when we took them, we used a different angle. When you put an angle to me, but the real decisive factor was the face. My face was accepted by the machine here, so the machine works. And the reason we added the machines, the face, was because people had argued that Africans' thumbprints are eroded by holding the hole. Because they hold the hole that is the marks may not be clear. So that's why we added the face. So we don't know whether this was just oversight or part of the manipulation. But we shall study even all the other factors, because we are following so other factors. Now, regarding the president I voted for here, and the member of parliament I voted for people who believe in patriotism. Remember, I've been telling you that. Because as you can see here, all these people here are wealth creators who don't have many parasites here. Most of the people are wealth creators. They create wealth by cows for milk, cows for beef, and bananas. But these people don't buy my milk, and I also don't buy theirs. Why? Because we have the same products. So who buys our milk? People of Kampala, people like Onyango in Kampala there. They're the ones who buy my milk, who buy my beef, who buy my bananas. So when you see these Banyankore with the mabati, with the brick houses, the money they are using to build their wealth is from Uganda. So that's why we say, you people who are not parasites, love Uganda. Why? Because you need it for your own good. Nzo muntu wakwata ku Uganda mfirawo. Wao mfirawo. Kulwaki kubanga Uganda ke kasiyani kange kwendira munange. Bolaba nzimbe nyumba enungi wano ndikisaye kikaga ndiawo nange tumunyoma. But everyone because of Uganda. Even in the 1950s, when I went in the school system, I was supported by 3 people, and none of them was a Munyankore. There was a man called Warisim Mpanga from Kampala who was buying cows and taking them to Kampala for slaughter. He was a Muganda man. Yagulanga ente zaffe natusasula kaguta namperera musomero. Then there was another Kiganda man kinene bwe kiti Kisilamu from Barara called Bukenya. Yagulanga ente zaffe nazileta Mbarara mu katale wawo. 1956, a Muzungu called Share came and started buying our cows, taking them to Kirembe. Kirembe yali etandise. So you can imagine in the 1950s, I went to school because of Uganda buying my cows, my father's cows. So when you say, whom did you vote for? Me, I want the one who loves Uganda. When you come and you tell me about Badama and who are the Onyangos? Samia?
Yes, Your Excellency, I'm with Samia.
So, Fungaba Samia, Fungaba Ganda, Fungaba Nankole. Zinkugambira nti sitani mvako. Genda. So this is the one I have voted for, the one who believes in Uganda. But also, the one who believes in Africa. Because even Uganda is not enough. If you see our production now, so big, this milk, these people here, production of milk is 5.3 billion liters. The internal market is only 1 billion. So if we do not have East Africa, this business would have collapsed. This is the economy of milk. So kata we tugambira nti Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. So I vote for those. The ones who says Ngaba Ganda, Fengaba Nankole, I like my culture. Ndumukugumu culture, naye ebyange private. For politics, it is Uganda, it is Africa. Let's have 3 other questions and I go to Mvemboruga mugende kukole kana koruga mboka vawa go vawa. Nukarigaru kunjiraka. Okay.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. My name is Adam Mayambala, and I work for NBS TV. My question is, over the 90 days of your campaign, a lot of issues have been raised from the locals, and a lot of promises, that you have made. But what is the most critical concern that you see in Uganda that you're going to start with if Ugandans entrust you and vote for you today? And secondly, kunsonga y'obuuma tubaye twagala president maybe otunyonyoleko mu Luganda abantu bafe abawansi basobole otegeera kyobadde onyonyola.
Oluganda manda gaweddemu. Now, Uganda is very rich now. There are very many rich people. There are about maybe 70% of the homesteads who are in the money economy. That's how, when you go to the supermarkets, many of the products are coming from Uganda now. Sugar is from Uganda. It used to come from other places. Milk is from Uganda. Beer is from Uganda, mwawatamivu. Some, even some of the cloth, like this one here, what I'm putting on, cement is from Uganda, mitayimbwa from Uganda. So there's a lot of wealth which has come up. In commercial agriculture, manufacturing, services and ICT, hoteli, very many hotels. Transport, Mbaraba, borders, what have you, there are so many. So that one have responded very well. That's why our exports have gone up. Coffee, we are now earning more than $13 billion in export earnings. Now our export earnings are now higher than our import bill. We are importing less than we are exporting. But there is about 30% of the people who are still who are still outside the money economy. These are the ones now we need to deal with. And abantu abo balina ebintu nga bitano. First of all, obwavu. Abagaga webali naye n'abavu webali. So poverty. That's why these programs, PDM, all those will be intensified and monitored. Secondly, education. Abana babo kusoma. Abana babana kusomera bwerere. Free education. We've been having problems. Bano banasoma ko abombyaro tebafayo nnyo kubasoma. So this time really I want the Bazukuru to support me, and we really implement free education in government schools. Then Amadagara Marwadro, there's a problem there which must be sorted out. Immunization is doing well. Then the other issue would be water for drinking and for production. Many people are now doing under PDM. They are doing Jenkoko, Zomchiyumba, Embuzi, so they need water near the house. So water is number 4. Then finally, the corruption. Corruption is a big issue, and it creates injustice. Then there is the issue of land evictions. Chibataka, that's another big issue. For the smaller people, I'm able, I am informed, I can hire lawyers, so I can defend my land. But the smaller people have a problem. And then finally, Engudo, Zombiaro. Those roads must be, the tarmac roads must be kept well, and the Maram roads also must be kept passable. Two final questions.
Your Excellency, nze ngenda kubuuza mu Luganda yenze Mukibi Jamiru Kyabasinga nkola ne Delta TV tukole tukuyozayoza Your Excellency gy'otambulidde yonna eggwanga lyonna ng'ofeffetta akalulu akanakuzza mu ntebe ekisanja kyo ekirala ekyamazima kampeyini eno obadde tokuba bukubi kampeyini wabula obadde otambula osomesa abantu.
Yes, siri mu kampeyini ibi byamwe
obadde osomesa abantu
munkolera ki? What I'm the one who is menyeka kulwamwe. So I go to help you to see for yourselves, not me. I need nothing from you. Sina kinetaga byonna mbiri nawano.
Tukuyozayoza Your Excellency.
So when I go to see such a large crowd of my people to say, oh yeah, what? God will not like it. When I get a chance, mbasomesa.
Your Excellency, tuli wano bannamawulire twatambula naawe okuva eruweero nga tukwetegerezera okunoonyereza okwo kwenkugambye tukukoze wamu. Bannamawulire abatambula naawe okuva eruweero bakusaba nti ng'akalulu waneeno kawedde basooke bakusinkanemuuko bongere okukulaga ebyenjawulo bye balabye mu bitundu by'eggwanga ebyenjawulo.
I will love that. I will take you either Tikisozi or Wakitula nembatira Sedume nemulyawo enyama.
Babadde bakusaba nga tebannaddayo Your Excellency Kampala obasinkanemu. Akasembayo Your Excellency osuubira akalulu kano okwolaba nga obadde onyumiza bunyumiza abantu obasomesa busomesa ogenda kukawangalira ku percentage ki?
If there is no cheating, 80%. So that's why we must stop ballot stuffing, because even the other time it was they said 58%, but actually it was much more than that. NRM Real has been all the time winning above 70% from 1996. Now if we don't Kuba, it distorts. If we don't stop the Kuba, it distorts the figure. Asembayo.
Your Excellency, Sansokula Bakosebo. Katonda tumwebaza nti akukuumye paka kati ku lunaku lw'okulonda. Your Excellency, nsooka okwebaza nti owadde abaana ba social media naddala b'oyita ab'olugambo tutambuza enjiri ya NRM era ab'opposition bonna twababikka. Museveni yali ku social media, TikTok, Twitter ne YouTube. Ekibuuzo kyange kiri nti taata nsaba kubuuza era onziremu. Muzeeyi oli punctual, nze wansobera. Muzeeyi bw'ojja mu kalulu ojja bukyali okusomesa abantu bo. Ne bwe ziwera 11:45 muzeeyi ng'agamba musajja w'ekikoofiira oyo nga tumanya asiibudde. Other people babeera bakyanoonya akalulu paka saa 12. Ekyo kikoze otya ate ng'oli w'amaanyi mu ggwanga? Thank you.
Kubanga I can answer that in English. Omanyi si kituufu or I mix. Si kituufu okutawanya abantu mbu waliwo byonoonya gwe. Kati nga bino ebyokubeera kampeyini mu butale, ogeze mu katale abantu bali ku nnaku yaabwe n'enyaanya naki bye batunda, kati gwe nojja n'okola olukungaana mu katale. Isiriyale olaba tofa ku bantu abo, tosobola kujja mu ndimiro yange entunga mu lusuku lwange n'okoleramu olukungaana nkufumitirawo ogenda mulambo. But these people They don't care because rumuna imirira ko warwaka je batundire yo northern bypass. When you are coming from Nambole side, then you want to go to Mulago. There's some big, where they, I don't know what they call it. Yes, one day they were waving, I was excited, and I stood, I regretted, because they stampeded now and started trampling because these people are staying on the roadside. But so really you have no right kubanga gone byononya okujja no yingira mu bulambu waffe ekitubeezaawo. So that's why we insist, if you want campaigns, go ebbali eyo abagala kuliza byeyogera bagenda kusanga eyo. Ffe tulwane tulikuna kuyaffe tutunda ennyanya tuli ku byaffe. Bwe tuba twagala okujja eyo tugenda beera we tunakusanga naye si ggwe okujjamu kutulumba wano. Now coming to the time, because it is so unfair. These people are coming from far, the ones you are addressing. They need to go back before darkness. Because you don't know, sometimes some of these areas have got some crime, some this. So why do you want to go beyond 6 o'clock? That's why we put it like that. Don't campaign at night, campaign early and go. So when you see people saying they don't care, it is because abantu abo bebali mutima bafaako babakozesa bukozesa mumpagire. That's why they go for religion. Mpagire kubanga ni Protestanti, kubanga ni Mukatoliki, kati ebyo byakugenda mugulu. Kati ffe tuliko wano ebyaffe byawo n'enguudo, obwavu. Kati waliwo obwavu Obukatoliki banange n'Obusiraamu. You can see they are useless people. Bayingira mu bintu byebataninamu byebatamanyi. So that's why they have because they have no okulumirwa abantu. That's why they go for all those irrelevant factors, amawanga, edini, biki. So I can't go beyond 6 because singo mwana w'abantu agwambate mu ekiro addayo mbu ava mu lwale ya Museveni. Songa siriwo okumuvuga kumutuusa awaka. If I had capacity to drive them home safely, we could stay up to midnight. Then afterwards we have vehicles to take them home. But they are going to walk back home on their own. And you don't see that you should end. There is also darkness. If in case somebody picks your pocket, you will not see him in darkness. That's why I want people to go early, go away. Thank you so much. I'm dying really to have a whole day with my companions, the rumor mongers. Who have been with the old man with the hat. Come, you. Chino. Gana kumzindaro.
Wekitiibwa Nalongo Shamshad Narujja nga mbeera Masaka, nzaalibwa Masaka Seera. Ye.
Very good. Nalongo lunaba mekabanda abalongo.
Nina abalongo ba mulundi gumu omulenzi n'omuwala.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Wekitiibwa Mr. Meeting, ensonga ya meeting.
No, we shall organize. Let's first finish the elections. We are going to organize. I'm dying to meet you and talk with you. I will invite you to Raichitora or Chisozi. We shall see which is better. Okay? Thank you so much. Kana katoka gamba ki. Kano kavawa.
Your Excellency, nze Nakayenga Sharon, nga nkola ne Makula TV. Your Excellency, tusaba kulaba, tusinabagenda Kampala.
Today? No, today we are busy. You are still around here?
Yes.
Fine, we shall organize. We shall organize. Okay, kare bazukuru. Thank you. We should thank this lady for hosting us. Tumubaza okutuchaza.
Well, that has been the President of the Republic of Uganda and also the presidential party flag bearer of the NRM party having a brief chat here with the Fourth Estate shortly after casting the vote here at this polling station in Kiruhura district, that is in Rwakitura. The President has been loud and clear. You have heard what he intends to bring on table for the rest of Ugandans if entrusted with another mandate in the coming term of office, that is the 2025-2026. So the President has made it very clear that indeed in the coming term of office he will emphasize free education for all. This has been his argument throughout the entire campaign trail, that it is not wise to charge students or pupils during the process of when they want to acquire education. And he maintains that indeed he will ensure that corruption, which has derailed most of the service deliveries in government and public institutions, they will be in position to face it out completely. He has fought against corruption in this whole 40-year rule to ensure that Ugandans at the end of the day service delivery is at their doorsteps. And he is promising that fellow Ugandans, if you feel he is the best choice for you and entrust him with your vote today, then those are the key issues he will be focusing on in the coming term of leadership as the President of Uganda. Here at this polling station, much as the President was addressing us here, then voting was still going on. Voters are still lining up. If our cameras will dodge a bit to the other side where the polling station is. And just to give you an emphasis that this address has not been at the polling station. The President moved away from the polling station not to interfere with the exercise of voting. That's why even you hear him not inviting a few staffs whom he wanted some details from them. So long as he was told that they are going ahead with the polling exercise, they were spared not to be interrupted. Because at the end of the day, he's a candidate and this process must go on because it has a timeline of 4 p.m. as a deadline so that they close up and start up the tallying of results. Our viewers, I am made to understand we are even on Star TV, but of course twagala just okujjukiza nti omukulembeze gwanga nga bw'omulabye essira asinze kuliteeka ku abo baalonze mubuziza nga nze ng'omuntu nti alonze mukulembeze wa kika ki mu kunnyonnyola kwe enkakaso tegedde bulungi nti ye ng'omukulembeze gwanga nga candidate Museveni agambye nti alonze omuntu agenda okugatta Uganda atajja kutandika kukuliriza mawanga n'ebirala. So as we
Well, thank you very much, Robert Onyango at Karo Primary School in Rwakitura, Kiruhura district. I'm joined by Ranga Christopher, who is the head and patron of the Mulungushi Club, as we wind up the first half of today. This is the day that Ugandans have gone to the polls. Ranga, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Comrade Dichilabo. Thanks very much, UBC, for giving me such a grand opportunity to make a statement after His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has just addressed the nation. It is a great pleasure indeed.
Well, the President has said so much in a small split of time just after casting his vote. What do you make out of his statement, briefly?
I think he has tried to be honest to Uganda, but he has left out some critical details. And these critical details when we go for multi-party elections, we are celebrating, we are paying a tribute to our grandson, the mother of modern nationalism, and that is Ignatius Kangave Musazi, who started the Uganda National Congress in 1952 with a common motto, with a militant motto, one man, one vote, self-government now. It was a struggle to operationalize that wish, that desire, that struggle to come into fruition. So I think for every Ugandan who is at the polls and who may go there later, we are paying homage to Ignatius Kangave Musazi and his team. The fruits of 1952 are getting consolidated. That is one aspect. The second aspect, we are paying tribute to the 1957 electoral law, which helped us organize the first multi-party elections in 1958, which precisely the head of state has left out, 1961, 1962, and 1980. We missed out on a snap election in 1966 because of the crisis. And we missed out in 1971 another election of 1+3 because of the coup.
Now, His Excellency in his speech talked about how he craved so much to see that we have free and fair elections, and this is where he brought in the issue of the machines, the biometric voter verification machines, which he has explained that there could have been delays in the Electoral Commission, someone to submit names of people who are operating these machines. He said the machines work at his polling station, much as it couldn't get his fingerprints, but at least it could detect his face. And he said this is one of the ways to have transparent voting. But earlier on, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, which also the president said he agreed to, allowed voting to go on where even machines are unable to function, as long as someone is in the voters register and they verify that that is the person, because it contains your name, it has your photo, and then that person can go ahead and vote. Ranga, what do you make of day one so far?
I hail from Kaboja A, which is part of Kasenge Parish, which is part of Chengela Town Council, and which is part of Wakiso District. I think in the previous elections, we delayed to start elections.
nakutambula konfurume ekibuga Kampala njolekereko ebitundu bya Eastern. Mu Eastern ngenda kuba nkuba ku district bbiri zigenda kubeera ya Jinja ne Iganga, ate time wenetukira ey'okubala akalulu nja kuba nkomyewo mu kibuga Kampala, era nja kuba mbasikira ekifaananyi ekiba kiriwo wezinagenda okuweerera ssaawa 12, 11 already nja kuba tuzze mu Kampala, era amangu ddala nga nakava ku mpewo kati njolekera mu bitundu ebya Eastern sobole okubasindikira ku kifaananyi ekiri awo mu bitundu bya Eastern, kunnyonnyodde district bbiri zengenda okubaamu omuli Jinja wamu ne Iganga. So mu mbeera efaanana bw'etyo abantu b'omu Iganga ne Jinja mubamanyi embeera zaabwe n'enkola yaabwe, ate era naffe ng'abaasomerera ogw'amawulire era gwe twagunjukira tulina okubaweereza saavisi yonna. So gwatuwuliriza ssebo ng'okwatagana ne producer wange ali mu studio eyo, omulala nga gwe mbakubira omuba mugujjumbidde nakyo kigenda kutuzza